That is the sound of a distracted, divided, and dead American until they hear. Battle for Freedom, triggering change, one heartbeat at a time. Hello, everyone. This is Watson Prunay from Battle for Freedom on Mojo 50 Radio, and I'm glad that you're following me as we get through another broadcast of Mojo 50 Radio. And listen, this is going to be a lot of fun as we get in through this day. It's Friday, and I want us to wake up as there's so much we're going to cover. Let's get into the things that matter a whole lot and matter most, and that's starting off with some American Pride Roasters coffee, folks. American Pride Roasters coffee.
That's it. I've hit the snooze button a dozen times, and now I have to finally get going. But I'm not going to do this day right if I don't start it off with a cup of American Pride Roasters coffee, the official coffee of Mojo 50 Radio. But I'm not going to lie to you. They have a wide variety of blends, but I'm leaning towards the one that's named after me, Watson's White Chocolate Caramel. You know what? It sounds as good as those words that just rolled off of my mouth. Listen, get it today. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Tell them that Watson from Battle for Freedom sent you, and you want Watson's White Chocolate Caramel blend to start your day off. Join American Pride Roasters Coffee and Mojo 50 Radio, and most important, Battle for Freedom, as we celebrate the best coffee in the nation. American Pride Roasters.
Yes, American Pride Roasters coffee, the official coffee. I don't have my mug with me yet right now, but I will after this show. Because of the fact that it's a great way to get my tummy feeling yummy and going from there. If you want to interact with this program, you can go to facebook.com/Mojo50 Radio, like I've seen Brian, Curtis, Carolyn, and Lep do. Thank you very much for being part of this program and joining us. This is going to be a very great day. Actually, I heard that they released Doc Thompson tribute video. That's really cool. I'll try and see if I can catch that. Good morning, Josh and Jill, and thank you for being part of the program. Today I want to talk about actually, I didn't even save the information the way I wanted it to because of the fact that today we're going to talk about something completely different. We're going to talk about fact-fighting today. We're going to talk about the whole idea of timed released information. Fact-finding, time-released information. And this is really critical because of the fact that I was listening to the Mojo 50 Radio, Daily Mojo yesterday, and I've been, again, if you go to mojo50.com, my website is battle4freedom.com, but if you go to mojo50.com/schedule, you can see all the other different programs you would listen to. If you're listening via iHeartRadio, one of the venues, if you just want to listen audio only, you would listen to the HoloNet before this program. So these are the times. It can give you the schedules of seeing what programs are available for you to listen on. But they were talking about this Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez situation where she wasn't in the Capitol building during the unfortunate riots that took place almost a month ago tomorrow. And in the process of this happening, where there's all this misinformation, and now that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is being busted for lying. The very thing that everyone was so angry that, they said everything that Trump says is a lie. Everything that comes out of Trump's mouth is a lie. But for some strange reason, there's certain people who are allowed to lie. See, timed release information, it almost kind of takes you to the whole idea of there's timed released medication. That there are certain pills that you can take that don't immediately act on you. It takes time. I don't know if it's the food, if it's slow release. It takes time to absorb. I'm not a doctor. I never was one. I never played one even on TV. But there's certain information that comes out after a period of time, and sometimes, no pun intended, you have to wonder, why are we getting the information now? Some information comes out ahead of time, and again, a month ago, everybody was in panic mode. See, this is exactly the reason why we've got to get rid of Trump, because of his followers and what they're doing. Now, mind you, we've had information that the media did their best to hide on the looting and the robberies and the murders and rapes and everything like that taking place by the other side. but that information wasn't critical. That information wasn't critical for people to wake up to the reality that the information is being fed to us in a slow process. Thanks for joining, Scott. So the crazy part about this is you look, yeah, I like that. I like that, Curtis. The truth is a three-edged sword. Your side, their side, and the truth. Amen. Your side, their side, and the truth. And as we sit here and we watch this information, and because it is a sword that it cuts you when you finally realize I've been operating on half truths. See, it's great. The media manipulates us by only giving us the truth in certain periods of time, because if we hear the data when the data actually happens, it doesn't help us. See, when they didn't want to give you the truth of what happened during Michael Brown's encounter, where you don't need to know that he robbed a store 5 minutes before beating the nonsense out of Officer Wilson. You don't need to know that he reached into the car to try to beat up the officer. You don't need to know that he ran away and then ran back. You don't need that information. Right now, you need to be angry. You need to be frustrated. Right now, you don't need to know that Lynn Wood and QAnon are leading us astray. You just need to know right now that sooner or later the information is going to come out that we're going to arrest the Clintons. We're going to arrest all these individuals who have been getting away with murder for so long. See, it's slow. It's timed release information. Because here's the thing about it. Donald Trump had 4 years to make unsealed records. Donald Trump had 4 years. Everybody's like, this is the moment we're going to find out. And you wait till the last day to unseal records? See, everybody keeps thinking, oh, well, yeah, it's the establishment that's holding us back. No. He had the right to do it. If there were records that we needed to see, they should have been released day one. See, the reason why I put this information out there, because everybody wants to keep thinking it's just the left. And they want to keep thinking it's just the left and the establishments that's sitting here manipulating the data, manipulating the information so that we are left in the dark. Understand, the Republicans and Democrats are on this timed, released information. Fact fighting. See, everybody who put their hope into Donald Trump revealing the information that we needed to know, you wait. You're like, well, this is the moment. This is the moment it's going to happen. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. The plan was to keep you distracted and sitting there waiting on the edge of your seat for information that never was going to come. Because make no mistake, this president, our president, 46th president of the United States of America, no matter how he got into office, is going to shut the information down. He spent the first day with reversing almost everything that Trump has done. So how do you sit here and get angry at the left when you should be angry at the person you put your trust in, hoping that they would get you the information? Fact fighting. See, because we're so busy fighting over what's this data? Oh, I got the new scoop. I got the new information. I got the great data. I'm on the lead. Trust me, I'm a news source that you want to follow because of the fact that I'm the first person to release this. Yeah, one of my buddies, Tim, he says it best that some people keep saying, oh, well, yeah, this is new insider information. He's like, but that information came out an hour or two ago. So is it really the inside information? We report this stuff because we want to be cutting edge, bleeding edge on getting information out. And everyone's fighting to see who can release the information first, because if I'm the first one to release the information, then I'm the more credible person. And everyone can source me as the person who provided that information for you. I mean, we sit here to getting angry at the whole idea that the mainstream media, or what I usually used to call the lamestream media, doesn't give us the facts, the whole facts, and nothing but the facts. But we're the ones who are trying to be this new third arm of media that basically gives you the data better and with a better and more truthful perspective. Meanwhile, we're just jockeying for the truth, or just jockeying for a position to be more relevant than anyone else. So the fact fighting, you can't get that information. You got that information from me. You need to cite me because I'm the one who had the inside information. I'm the one with the connections. I'm the one who has the inside angle to everything going on here. The blame stream media. I love it. I love it. Yeah, media is released first and verified later. Thank you, Scott. Amen. And see, and every last one of us, so then what we do is we get into backbiting, we get into fighting, we get into these contentious conversations with people because of the fact that we're operating on information that may not even be true or even partially true. And remember, operating on partial truth is still operating on a lie. Do you hear that? Operating on partial truth is still operating on a lie. Oh, well, Barack Obama had the most transparent and scandal-free administration. Oh my goodness. Every time I hear that, I was telling one of my buddies back, he was one of my senseis, one of my karate instructors back in New York. And he did not hold back his means of sharing the information, sharing a perspective that just made you stop and just chew on the fat a little bit longer. But when dumb things were said by some of our coworkers, he would say, "Excuse me, by chance, were your father and mother brother and sister?" Because when you sit here and you keep ignoring the facts about the realities of what took place, not just in the Bush administration or the Obama administration or even the Trump administration, because understand this, conservatives, as you now try and curtail Joe Biden spending $1.9 billion and you only want to put out a $600 billion package because you supposedly want to save money, you don't want to spend so much money. What happened in the 4 years where you spend nearly $7 trillion under former President Donald J. Trump? You didn't have a problem being loose with money back then. Hey, conservatives, don't sit here and get mad at what money that, oh, he stole the election and now he's spending money like there's no tomorrow. He didn't say anything about Donald Trump spending. He didn't say anything about conservatives spending ridiculous money. He remained silent. Fact fighting. Because when the truth is presented to us and we choose, when we choose which information to chew on and process, it makes us more of a hypocrite in the people than we're trying to prove wrong. It makes us more of a hypocrite than the people we're trying to prove wrong. Fact fighting. It's not just not fact finding, it's fact fighting. But yeah, so Barack Obama, so there was a news article I found today that there was a border agent who's basically being imprisoned or charged because back in 2010, this border agent basically hid data about an immigrant who was tased to death. But see, why are we getting the information 11 years after it happened? Because we couldn't have any blemishes on hope and peace, hope and change, forward, and so much more. We had to hide that information. Everyone, as we're sitting here talking about, hey, listen, we told you. Even now with Obamacare, and as Joe Biden is fortifying Obamacare, we have people who are sitting there getting angry because of the fact that if you like your plan, you can keep your plan, was a lie when it was uttered. Over and over and over again. He said it 3 to 9 times. If you like your plan, you can keep your plan. But everything that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth is a lie. Well, what about when Barack Obama? Well, Barack Obama doesn't matter right now because he's not president of the United States of America, so we're not going to hold him accountable. So if that's the same language, because I have a lot of friends who are Democrats, who are black, who sat there. When I sat there and I asked them about the lies and the misinformation and the direct lies from Barack Obama, how do we hold them accountable? They're not president right now. Let's not deal with that situation. So that if that's the case, if that is the barometer, if that's the standard for basically measuring whether or not we're going to prosecute people on their falsehoods, then that means that right now even the impeachment trial is null and void. Actually, it is null and void because you can't impeach a person who's not sitting in office. But here's the thing about it: because we did not want to deal with the lies and the misinformation and the direct corruption of former President Barack Obama and then Vice President Joe Biden. Current president Joe Biden. So then basically any angst, any ill will that you have towards Donald Trump is no longer valid. You set the stage, and if we're not going to process previous presidents, then there's no reason to pursue going after Donald Trump. As much as I may disagree with a lot of the different things that he did, you can't go at. You set the stage. Just like you set the stage when you just decided to say, well, all we need is the majority and we're going to start passing things and making things happen. All we need is the majority. We don't need you. We don't need you. And so now you didn't want to prosecute Obama. You didn't want to prosecute Hillary. But we're going to sit here and we're going to go after Trump with everything that we have. You're going to blame that immigrant who died in 2010 under the border agent during Barack Obama's administration? Are you going to blame Barack Obama? Are you going to want to charge him? Are you going to want to impeach Barack Obama for the death of that person? Because if you don't, you need to be silent. You need to be silent. You have no footing to stand on. No, the most scandal-free administration. Whew. Holy moly guacamole. Holy moly guacamole. So here's timed release information that actually it affects you. It affects you if you're willing to make the sacrifice to make it happen. So I've been saying, and glad my buddy Scott's part of the program today. My buddy Scott introduced me to Dave Ramsey, Total Money Makeover, Financial Peace University. I've been talking to you about Dave Ramsey and Financial Peace University. That it's the slow game. It's the dedicated pace in eliminating debt that allows you to be freer and richer than you've ever been before. And right now, there are people who are starving, people who are eager. They are desperately waiting for that government check, that stimulus check. And now you find out that, hey, they said if you make more than $40,000 a year, single, or $80,000 a couple, you ain't getting that money. Guess what? Guess what? Middle class is anyone who makes less than $250,000 a year. Middle class is anyone who makes less than $250,000 a year. You see how they play loose with the facts in terms of, well, are you going to get the money? No, you're not going to get the money. We're going to help these other different people. And also, oh my goodness, this was crazy because if this data proves to be true, oh my goodness. One of my buddies shared this with me yesterday, and I just sit there. I looked at this information. I said, this is very problematic because a lot of people I'm just going to cover my face with this one. I don't care. This is what you need to see. So if this is true, that this is going to be the nature of what we're going to look at in terms of taxes, in terms of what we're going to be paying. Yeah, as they said, but you voted for Trump because he said mean things. If the corporate tax rates are going to go from 21% to 28%, if income and payroll tax is going to go from 37 to 52%, if small business taxes are going to go from 29.6 to 39.6%, and if capital gains taxes go from 23.8 to 43.4%, if this truly happens, I'm not going to raise taxes. Oh, wait. If you make less than $400,000, I'm not going to do this to you. Again, our conversation with Scott yesterday is, if you don't tax the people who make less than $400,000 a year, you lose a lot of tax money because the majority of Americans make less than $400,000 a year. You've completely forfeited your tax base but if you go with a straight flat tax and everybody is taxed regardless, don't do this staggered nonsense. Just do a flat tax. Everybody across the board, you fix everything. But if I confuse everybody with I need accountants who can sit here and calculate the money, and I need all these people in government who can figure out these tax charts and tiers and all these other different things. We get everything gets lost in the minutia. And yes, Scott, they also forget about Benghazi. They forget about Benghazi. They forget about IRS scandals. They forget about the AP, about the Associated Press being in their privacy being violated by former President Barack Obama and his administration. We forget about those details. Time release information. We get manipulated over and over and over again. Biden said he wasn't going to raise taxes. You're going to watch and see. And a lot of you right now, you're trying to, instead of trying to do the slow process of getting out of debt, I want to play lotto. I want to do all these different things. I want to get quick ways of getting in, jumping in, making my money, and jumping right back out. You're paying Russian roulette with your richness and your finances rather than just change the way you live and basically live more responsibly, live within a budget, and you can actually survive the coming winter storm. The physical one coming this weekend and further into next week, and the one that happens over a period of time, because the storm brews in our failure to manage our finances, but the blizzard, the tundra, the tornadoes, and so many other different things happens and hits our home and our finances when we do not do the due diligence to be responsible. That fact finding information is not fact fighting, it's fact proven. It's fact proven. So it doesn't matter what Biden does with taxes. Get your finances in order. But Watson, I still have to have fun. Yeah, you can have fun. But if you have the fun up front, you lose the opportunity for the later pleasures in life. There's so many different ways I could spin that hit with a whole bunch of double entendres, but I'm going to walk away from that. Because I want to hit you with this thing here. So GameStop drops 42% in Reddit rally. Get this. Reddit stock was at $438 last week. If you bought it at, what was it, 19, 20, whatever it was, it got up to 430. A lot of you thought you were going to ride that camel out. Let's fill this baby up with some water. And just ride through the desert because we're going to make this through. Baby, camel didn't make it 100 yards. Because you basically thinking that you're going to make your money and your riches in the stocks. Don't get me wrong. There's ways that you can make money in the stocks, but it's not a surefire way in making stock money on the long run. See, you have to have millions. You have to be willing to invest millions and just make hundreds of thousands and still pull out. The problem is that many of us, we don't even have hundreds. We don't even have tens to be making money with. But we're gonna ride the stock. We're gonna ride that Hoosier Lotto and Powerball and whatever other ride. This is my guy. I got more stock in Hoosier Lotto than I have in E-Trade. Oh my goodness, I gotta move on. Let's see. Oh Lord, we're about to go to a break, and I even got through half the stuff I want to talk about. Okay, listen, folks, we're about to go to a break in less than 20 seconds here. You enjoy the lovely elevator music. I'm your host, Battle4Freedom. I'll talk to you, beautiful people, on the flip side. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Watson Prunay from Battle for Freedom on Mojo Fiber Radio, and I'm glad that you're following and paying attention as we get into this Friday broadcast. Holy moly guacamole, got something in my eye. Fact-fighting timed release information. Sometimes it's even misinformation. My website's battle4freedom.com. I want you to go there. I also want you to go to mojo50.com. And, Lord Jesus, please help us as we go through the craziness of just trying to share with you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now, some of you will probably not like the words that are coming out of my mouth, and for that, all I can do is give you New Life Holistic.
Does your mind seem like it often shuts down before it even starts? Sounds like you need to detox to improve your health in body, mind, and spirit. I'd like to tell you about New Life Holistic. It is an amazing therapy process that uses neurofeedback and biofeedback for many issues that ails everyone. New Life's method and approach to health, balance, energy, and vitality is what sets it apart from anything you have experienced ever before. Call 1-833-4-BIO-LIFE and tell them Watson from Battle for Freedom had sent you. One more thing. Give them the code MOJO50 and save $50 off of your first session. The consult is free. New Life Holistic.
Yes, New Life Holistic. Share that with your friends, as many as you possibly can. Many who are feeling like I hurt their feelings with everything I've been trying to say. Before the break, we were talking about so much about this whole idea of fighting, basically time release information. We're talking about finances. And Renee, please be safe as you and your coworkers are in work for you having to go back in. Oh, Lord, please help you. There was a couple comments that came in over the break that I wanted to, or even before the break, that I want to acknowledge on here. I thought this was really great. First one was, to get rich quick, the get rich quick mindset will ensure you never get rich. Thank you, Scott. I really appreciate that. Another one is, make a budget, and if you can, put fun in it. Thank you, Brian. That is so true. Because of the fact, here we are, we're standing right now, you're wondering, okay, man, I wish I had a few extra bucks. Maybe I should have cut that streaming service, or maybe I shouldn't have gone to all those, I shouldn't have done all that gambling, or maybe I could have saved some of that money that I spent on Powerball and Mega Million tickets and actually been able to cover my utilities this month or gas in my car. So, I told you yesterday, my wife and I, we've been watching this series, holy God, Jericho. And again, it's so, you literally could take what happened years ago and transplant it to today and say, this is exactly what's happening right now. And Jericho, the TV series, there's only 2 series out there. I found out that there were 5 total, but 3, 4, and 5 were made into comic books. They never decided to continue it on film. Kind of sad. Kind of like what they did, like my wife pointed out, what they did with Chronicles of Narnia. We really wish that they had came out with more movies. But the fact finding truth is, and the fact verified truth is, if you don't manage your finances, you live a very poor life. If you don't manage your finances, and you can have millions, but if you don't manage your finances, you can have a very poor life. So you don't want to deal with that anymore. So let's go back to because you're Watson, don't hit me with that truth anymore. I'm going to live whatever way I want to with my finances. Fine. Enjoy. Take care. Peace. Be out. This is interesting. Congressional report finds toxic metals in baby food brands. Now, we've been telling you about this for years. Time to release information. Why now? Because they're getting angry that Walmart has been pushing out this stuff. That Walmart has been pushing toxins in, or allowing toxins to be in the baby food that it sells on the counter. You see why we tell you that there are certain places sometimes cheaper isn't always better. And just like when you budget your food, budget your money, you can even budget your food. We can even eat healthier portions until we can afford to eat bigger portions because we actually lived within our means and had more money to shop at the more expensive stores that basically had things healthier for you. But hey, listen, let's continue to just live carefree, eat and drink, for tomorrow we die. And in the process of doing this, you're quickly putting toxins in our bodies, because McDonald's is a lot cheaper and faster than going to a Trader Joe's or a Whole Foods, as expensive as they are, or even Fresh Thyme. And we don't want to live more responsibly. Because the government's going to bail me out of my irresponsible living. Oh, we've been talking about the stuff that's been in the food for so long, but why they're talking about it now? It's almost like this Biden administration is trying to save people from these horrible institutions that have been trying to kill you for all these years. We've known this for years, but when we released it, because it's not just that. I'm gonna skip that one. That one's just too problematic on that story. Let's go to this one here. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on that one too. I don't want to get rid of that one. That was actually a good one. Let's go down to this one here. Found that COVID cases cut half the 7-day average peak in January. So COVID cases have somehow dropped dramatically. Even though we don't have more people getting vaccinated, even though Joe Biden can't keep up at the pace that Donald Trump was keeping with getting people vaccinated, we have cases that have miraculously dropped. I bet you these numbers were dropping last year. They're just reporting them now because timing is everything. Timing is everything. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining. And thanks, Tim and Lisa. Timing is everything, because now if we start reporting good news on COVID during a Biden administration, it gives the impression that the Biden administration is actually making headway into fixing this, even though Biden says that the medication that they're trying to deliver right now won't hit until early summer. He said it. Biden said information that most of the vaccines will not hit on the extra, 200 million that have been ordered, won't be delivered until early summer and completely done by the end of the summer. Yes, wear 3 masks, Tim. Wear 4. Wear 5. Even though Fauci says it's proven that wearing more masks don't solve the situation. See, I think this is very sad and is very problematic that we can't get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth when it matters. Why? Because the truth, misinformation, and information gathering and the information highway is manipulating people at light speed. At light speed. It's going to be amazing to see that a year ago today, we're learning about COVID and the president's wanting to close borders. The president's wanting to close borders during what's going on with COVID. And now we have Biden saying 125,000 immigrants. Come on down. It's like the price is right. Yes, the price is right. The price was right for those who sold their soul to actually have Joe Biden as president of the United States of America. Come on down. You say that, Satan, as you work your way to hell for violating your principles and violating your integrity, the integrity that you had against the barbarism and the corruption of Trump, and you laid waste and played the WHORE with evil, wickedness, and Satan. I feel like being like Dana Carvey and Church Lady right now from Saturday Night Live. But I'm not going to cross-dress. I'm just going to give you the information and let you chew with that. Yes, yeah, Carolyn, COVID gave us a baby boom. Yeah, you know what? And see, that's the crazy part about it. That's very interesting that you say that, because I'm going to agree with you on that COVID gave us a baby boom. And here's the reason why, is that what they meant for evil, God meant for good. Now, we're being judged right now, make no mistake, but we were killing each other at an alarming rate, whether it was gang violence, it was hood violence, it was trailer violence, it was Planned Parenthood violence or drug addiction violence, so many different ways that populations around the world, they were killing themselves off with this eugenics-driven mindset, killing off people with special needs. I mean, when you sit here and you look at the tragedy that took place in a lot of countries, like in the UK, I think they said 87% of children who were diagnosed with Down syndrome were aborted. Was it near 100%? Near 100%. That's scary. So maybe in the lockdowns, as people staying away from the hospitals that are overfilled, that we were trying to flatten the curve almost a year ago for 2 weeks. We got a whole lot of Barry White playing along, and we're about to see a huge spike in people who are going to be in this country over the next, I don't know how long. Oh my goodness. Oh Jesus God, I can't even repeat that. Oh, so yeah. So how many of you have actually even seen here's another one I find very interesting that they wouldn't talk. You can barely find it if you're not looking for it. Have you seen COVID arm? See, because you remember, what was it? What shot was that where people were getting? Was it the measles shot? Was it the measles shot or which one that they showed, like you had that little imprint on your shoulder and everyone knew exactly who you were? Was it the polio shot? I can't remember. Either way, it'll hit, or measles. It might have been the measles shot. And now they show this thing. Now I'm not even gonna show you the picture because it's just weird. It's wonky. One of my favorite words of my youngest, my 4-year-old. She loves saying wonky. But now you have COVID arm, where it looks like someone hit your arm with a baseball bat or it's just a really bad reaction. Something larger than a softball. Softball side tetanus shot. Thank you. TB. Thank you thank you, everyone. I'm talking about the welt is this big on your arm. And the doctors are saying it's nothing to worry about. The Moderna shot will just give some people an itchy rash. It's nothing for you to worry about because of the fact that it's not. See, timed release information as we sit here making allegations of infertility, which we were told in reports that if you are trying to have a baby for 2 months, or if you're in the process of being pregnant, please wait a little bit before you actually decide to get that vaccine shot. As we sit here, we've been telling you for years there are concerns of sterilization, possible oh my goodness, what's the name of that word? The disease that we're not Asperger's, but the other one that you can get as a result of getting some of these vaccinations. But no, it's not proven to be true. But most of the listen, let me help you understand something. I don't think I've ever told you this before. Maybe some of you have had the opportunity to learn this. I'm a quad. I'm one of 4 people born, four children born by my mother almost 50 years ago. And the doctors back then decided that we know what to do with your children. So my parents only walked away with 2 children. Me and my brother, who is in New York right now. The other 2 siblings taken away against my mother's will. My dad wasn't in the hospital at the time that we were born. She knows that there were 4 born. 2 were taken away. Right now, there's more evidence of that. There were stories even going on about this happening in New York, happening in Brooklyn, happening in all over Long Island, where there were doctors who were taking twins and triplets and separating them from their parents because they want to do experiments to find out if I do this to this child, or if I put this child in this situation, do the others feel what that other one is going through? This is the sick, twisted things about the science, this administration that's about science. But do you recognize that the science has been killing people for so long in the name of progress, in the name of making life better for everyone, that we keep putting our trust in the very systems that has been killing us? I say this because of this next article. Hundreds of COVID-19 vaccine appointments in Yankee Stadium are left unfilled. By who? Blacks and Latinos. Blacks and Latinos are not going to Yankee Stadium to get their vaccine shots, and they have every right not to. They have every right not to. When you consider that the government, the science, the people who give you the facts and information, when we sit there and we try and warn you about Planned Parenthood being put together for eugenics to actually kill off the black population, for population control, but you don't want that science. You don't want that fact-verified information. You don't want to hear about Margaret Wilson or whatever her name is, sitting there purposing to kill off the black population. Even though black people keep wanting to vote for Democrat, even though we have time and time again, time not sensitive, time released information, and not fact-fighting, fact-verified data of the barbarous plan of what Planned Parenthood was created for. You don't think that the people who created Planned Parenthood to kill the black people and the same people who decided to do the Tuskegee experiments to sit there and put syphilis in black people are not around anymore? You think the eugenics that took place that they got from Margaret Sanger, from Margaret Sanger, you don't think that those monsters don't exist? They went over, they borrowed our eugenics plan from Planned Parenthood and basically brought it in and killed 6 million Jews in Germany, in Europe, across the landscape of Europe, in these plague centers, these concentration camps, where the science of protecting the superior race, the science, everybody's, because faith and all those other different things and unverified opinions don't matter right now. So we're putting our trust in the hands of the people who basically say we know better, and even don't trust our methods. We know better. Your methods have been barbarous since day one. Guess what? Your methods sat there and gave Indians in Indiana polio in the free clothing that you provided so that they would stay warm in the winter. You think we changed? You think we evolved? Look at it right now. We're just more sophisticated in our evil. We're more sophisticated, yes, playing God, Carolyn. We're more sophisticated in our manners. Yes, I will impeach. I'll spend 4 years trying to delegitimize the presidency. I will sit now I will censor you. I will shut you down. I will prevent you from speaking. I will take your guns. I will make you wear masks. I will take your property. I will take. Blacks and Latinos have every right to be suspicious of a government. And yes, this broadcast might be removed because of the fact that we choose to actually share the truth. Hello. This is not something that we can sit here and hide. Everyone has a right to be concerned. If you're not concerned about the vaccine, I'm praying for you if you've already taken it. I'm praying for you. Some of you have some of us have no choice because of the industries in which we work. And for those of you who have to take it, I am praying for you. I don't condemn you. Understand this. Hear this. You take the vaccine. You took the vaccine. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm just praying that I'm praying that there are no severe side effects to you. I'm praying that you don't die. I'm praying that you don't become, for those of you who want to have children, you not become infertile. I'm really praying for that. I don't despise you for taking the shot. I understand. Tough decisions has to be made, and I'm not going to sit here and make you feel like some monster because you did what you thought was necessary. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. That's essential. That's very, very important. I just want you to understand, and I need you to understand. I need us all to understand. We're not getting all the data that we need to make the right decisions that we need to. When it comes to these vaccines, when it comes to political candidates, when it comes to politics, when it comes to the media, they just release data. I mean, think about this. I started this program off talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's not arguing. Do you notice she's angry because people are trying to discredit my emotions that I had during my traumatic experience? She's not arguing the fact that, no, I wasn't in the Capitol building. No, I didn't play this. No. She's getting angry at the people coming out and exposing her for lying. Just like Gavin Newsom being angry at the people who were exposing him and his family for being out doing things during lockdown that he told other people not to do. Think about this. Nancy Pelosi, Barbara Boxer, Gavin Newsom, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the moment that you start exposing the lies of these individuals, they don't get angry about being busted. They get angry about the people who provide the information that prove that they were lying. And these are the people who are in charge. And these are the people who are in charge. Here's one I thought was very interesting. This one's actually kind of sad. So a family of a military veteran who died. He's 74 years old, Air Force individual. Maybe this is another reason why people can't trust the government and trust that they will do what is right. This is a sad story. I saw this earlier today, and it was for an Army veteran, 74 years old, who was in the VA hospital. He was bedridden. Joe Maribel, 74, an Air Force veteran. I think Rondolph was in the Air Force. I wanted to be in the Air Force. I threw that chance away a long time ago, like an idiot. But thank you, Ron. Thank you, Joel Maribel. Air Force veteran living in a long-term care facility in Georgia was attacked by 2 waves of fire ants in the days before his death. His body was covered with more than 100 bites when staff at the VA's Eagle Nest Community Living Center in Atlanta found him. Found him! Breathe. Employees bathed him and moved him to a new room for 3 days before taking him back, where he was once again attacked by the insects. Maribel died 2 days after the second attack on September 7th, 2019. The family are now suing the facility and the pest control company. VA officials have since decommissioned the home, declaring it no longer suitable for residential patient care. Carolyn just said it best. Experimental vaccines, not for me. There's a video that was played by the Daily Mojo, not supporting the evidence, but providing the evidence for you to see of one said doctor whose name cannot be mentioned. You would think that she was worse. You would think that she was worse than Sauron. You would think that she was even worse than Voldemort, because she's actually providing you a perspective of these vaccines, talking about things like hydroxychloroquine has been used successfully for 65 years. But drugs, untested, unproven, experimental vaccines that have barely been used for 65 days has a better trust record by this administration and the science. The science of 65 years has been neutered by the science of 65 days. Let that sink in. Let's even take it further. The science of male-female has been neutered by the science of 6.5 years. The science that says input, output, what comes in, comes out, is now basically saying what comes out, in, out. There is no, how can we have of trusting the science when everything that we're being told, everything that we've learned for the longest time has been right versus left, not politically speaking, right versus wrong. 1 and zeros, binaries. It's now trinary. It's now octonary, decanary. There are 10 ways to the truth, 10 interpretations of what reality is like, because we're no longer fact finding, we're fact fighting. Because when we have to sit here and fight against the realities of a binary life, truth and error. See, we want gray area so much that we actually modify reality. And my buddy Yug post yesterday, and now I saw an article of the New York Times, several authors basically saying that Joe Biden needs to hire a reality czar. A reality czar to fight the misinformation being shared. We need a cabinet position of a reality czar. Do you recognize what this is? This is state-sponsored reality. This is controlling information, controlling data, and anything else is censored away. Anything else by writ will now be shut down. They censor you. They flag you if you share data that's contrary to not popular opinion, state-sponsored opinion. Whew. We have come a long way. We have come a long way. And we are barreling into obscurity faster than ever. But if you really want to be obscure, Brad Staggs and Daily Mojo's up next. I'm your host, Watson Prudier from Battle for Freedom and Mojo 5 Radio. I'm about to sign out. I really appreciate every last one of you who has shared on this. Share Mojo 5 out if you can. Share Battle for Freedom out. But more than anything else, share Jesus out, because he's the one truth that won't change no matter who's in charge. God bless you all, beautiful people. Take care and enjoy your weekend. Be safe, bundle up. It's going to be pretty cold. I'm out.